It is so confusing. You see around you a perfect reality. It's so hard to imagine that this reality that surrounds you, including you yourself, your body, and everything you see and love, does not exist in any material way you know and can perceive. You can only perceive the things that your mind allows you to perceive, to get, to understand. You cannot perceive things beyond this very limited, narrow point of view. Moment of self-realization, awakening, enlightenment is the moment when you see things as they truly are. You see beyond matter, you understand what you see, and then you realize that everything you see does not exist, including yourself, and that all of this was a grand, diluted fantasy of the mind. When I say you cannot perceive it, it's very sad, but it's true. It's just the way it is right now, until you realize it with your structure, until the all-nothingness wakes through you also. So I will try to describe this view as best I can, standing where I am. This perception is the main obstacle in the understanding of the emptiness of what is around us. The mind needs answers, needs facts, needs information, needs to understand logically what is happening. So he can take all these parameters and build some kind of picture. Each mind of every individual builds a different picture, and this is how he sees life. But it needs information, data. It cannot just relax into itself and see directly what it sees. So all this learning process, this natural learning process that we do ever since we are babies, this is exactly what confines our point of view of what is, what we really are. So after saying that, let's try to imagine what it would be like if you could see directly into what you see around you. So because the human mind needs answers and facts, and he has to build some kind of story for it himself, and he wants to find as many justification for the story as he can. So scientists go this way and they try to prove what this world is and how it is constructed through science, religion people through religion, and everyone tries to build according to the data they have the picture. But every one of these offers are very personal. You can only learn from people's opinions, not through direct knowledge. Everything you know about how this universe, world, reality is constructed is only an opinion of someone who took a lot of information and processed it and made some kind of a decision about what this reality is. So this is his opinion. It's not a fact. It's not true. It is his mind. It is the process of his thinking mind. I've heard many theories about how this reality is built or constructed. There are people who claim that it's all material, it's like there was a big bang and everything slowly evolved into this state and we are on a round earth that floats into space, and there are objects in space like stars and sun and moon. This is one theory. There's others who claim to be more evolved in the perception of reality, more spiritual, and they claim that this thing is vibrating. This is a very strong world. This world is vibrating, and we are a different kind of vibration of something that vibrates. There are people who believe or claim that it's all electricity and forces, but what all these people have in common is that it's not a direct knowledge of what is. They always leave an opening for something to be inside this reality because they cannot grasp nothingness. There has to be something. It can be small, it can be very like atoms, or it can be a vibration or a wavelength or something that moves and creates everything and projects something. It's also a phrase used, it's like a projection of something, and there is always this game that you don't admit, you cannot admit that there is nothing, that there is absolutely nothing. This distance they cannot go because it is too crazy. It is not crazy to say that we are all vibrations, but it is crazy to say that there are no vibrations, nothing to vibrate. And this is very misleading because it gives the people who want to know the truth some kind of a relief. It's very consoling that there is something. It may be invisible or energetic or something, but there is something. My mind can hold on to something. This I know. And this state, this natural state, is letting go of everything. It's like you are on the shore and you are still on dry land when you believe these opinions. You don't jump into the water. It doesn't matter how close you get to the water. You are still standing on this dry land. You are still captivated by the wrong opinions. As I said, these are opinions of minds, and you cooperate with these opinions because it is so comfortable for you to hang on to something. Something. It's comfortable, it's familiar. It is talking in your vocabulary. There is something, there's always something. Something comes from something. This state eliminates every rational thoughts you have about reality, about what you see. So, how is this grand illusion is constructed? What is there here? What are you seeing? What are you? this, the place you sit right now, I sit right now, everything you see is located nowhere. Can you try to think where nowhere is? It's nowhere, nowhere to be found. So in our human perception, nowhere is a term I don't know which one of us can use, because there is always some kind of place. You can say it's in the middle of nowhere, and then you will mean that this place is very far, but it exists. But if you think about the term nowhere, you cannot grasp where nowhere is, because there is always something. There is this world, and if I say nowhere, it's not this world. So, but nowhere is also this imagined reality. So this is not what I meant. This nowhere is a place, which is not a place. It's also something the mind cannot grasp. It has to be located somewhere. There is no place that is nowhere, and it is not a place. Where is this place? So you can say, where is this place? Where is this nowhere? It's right here. This is nowhere, and this is not a place. Where I'm sitting is not a place. This is the illusion of the place. So basically, this all-nothingness is nowhere, and it is not a place. And this is only where it is located. It's not how it acts. We're starting from the basic thing. Where is it? Nowhere. It's nowhere. The moment of self-realization was the moment Simcha became this nowhere, no place. And it is almost visible, it was almost visible, this thing. To try to describe it to you, it's like the closest thing I can say, it's like, oh, so in this nowhere, which is not a place, time, of course, does not exist, because there is no place to be the center of this movement of time. It cannot react to anything, because there is no place that time will pass inside it. So there is no time. It's only logical. So it's nowhere, it's not a place. And in some ways, it's smaller than the smallest thing you can imagine, even the smallest parts of the atom or anything known to humanity. This is the scale on which it is small. And this is because it is so condensed. It is very, very condensed, this place. Imagine the greatest silence you can, the greatest peace you can, or like the most perfect, serene, untouched place. This is the place, this is the feel of this condensed nothingness. And this condensed nothingness is so condensed. Imagine it is the seed. This reality is the seed. it's only the seed. In the seed there is the potentiality of the tree and everything that goes with it, the branches and the leaves and the fruits and the flowers, everything is inside this seed as a potential. And this is what this all nothingness is. It's a potential. It's a seed of potential. And in the seed of the tree, the potential is very limited. It can only grow and be a tree. This is its potential. But the seed of all nothingness, or this place, this unplace nowhere, is the seed of everything you see around you as reality. So this seed of all nothingness, it's like an idea. Think about an idea. It's so fleeting and it's so, you cannot hold an idea. You cannot hold it. You cannot see it. It's an idea. You don't even think. It's not a thought. An idea, it's not a thought. A genuine idea, a good idea, the one, an inspirational idea, is not coming from the mind. It's coming from this all nothingness, because it is not an idea. It's an expression of this potential of the seed. So you connect to it. You don't connect to it, you just express it and you think you had an idea. You just feel this potential which was always inside this seed of potentiality. So it's in this metaphorical seed, there are these countless, endless possibilities of expressions. All these potentialities, I hope this is the word, the things that are possible, that will happen from the seed, are inside this unimaginably small unplace. And all this potential is only a potential, is only an idea. We are an idea. We are a metaphor. Just like someone who is thinking and he will imagine an ice cream cone. There is no ice cream cone. He's only imagining this thing, and this thing is not real. It's only the idea of it, how it tastes, what it looks. You like it, you don't like it, it's an idea in your mind. So we are this idea, this potential of things, of expressions, and we never fill out this potential. We never go out of this seed to somewhere which is a place, and we become this potential, these thoughts. We will never be a real ice cream cone. No. This is the illusion. We think, the human mind will think, okay, there is a potential, there is a seed, and we see a tree, hence the seed became the tree. This is the way we are used to think. If we see something in our own eyes, so we see the potential, which is our expression, and we see that we look like something that works inside the word, so we say, okay, we are feeling this potential. This little thing had an idea, and now we are living this idea. We are this reality of this idea. But no, we never cross this line. We never leave this small all nothingness, no place, nowhere, peace and nothingness. We never do that. We never become something. None of the things we see crosses this line of potentiality into fulfillment, into becoming, into something. Nothing crosses this place. It always stays as an idea and a metaphor. It's hard for us to believe that we are an idea. Very hard. So we are the expression of the potential inside this thing. We are an expression of an idea. And this is why I say nothing around you really has any realness in it. None of the things that are in this endless potentiality of the seed becomes real. And if we follow my logic, vibrations also don't cross this line of nothingness. We cannot vibrate. There is no one to vibrate. What kind of vibration can nothing produce? So what is it that we see around us, and why do we see ourselves in such a real way? So let's go back to the place where I told you we are an idea. It's like you imagine a cone of ice cream. You think about it. And if you concentrate on it, you will see it. You will see its shape, and you will see the colors, and you will feel its coldness. And the more details you'll give to your idea in your mind, you will see it more clearly, and you will know more about it. So, because this or nothingness is everything, it's like all the smartest people you know throughout the dawn of history, and the ones who weren't born yet, and everything together works and thinks. It is such an intelligence. We cannot perceive how intelligent this thing is. It is this oneness, which is all of us, which is all this smartest, most deep things you can imagine for someone to think or to realize. So this giant mind of this genius seed is picturing the idea the best it can. It's paying the attention to the smallest details to make this idea as beautiful and as powerful and as accurate as it can. It wants to see the idea as clearly as it can. So it's like this hallucination, this description of the idea is us. This is how we, this or nothingness, perceive the idea or express the idea, the thought of how a chair should look like. This is an idea of a chair, and because we are so intelligent and infinitely wise and unimagined, full of imagination, so the chair is amazing in its expression, in the variation of chairs, of its use. So we take this idea, we take the metaphor, and we feel it, we look at it. So each and every one of us is this fulfillment of this idea of what is, of potentiality of something that is inside this non-place, nowhere, no time. And because it's so powerful, this imagination, this idea, we believe that we are this idea and we are separated and we have a materialistic body or something. This makes us forget the fact that we are an idea. So this reality is not constructed by anything material. Nowhere. It obeys the physical laws because we are so smart. We wanted to see this idea in action, so we created the best terms in which it can develop. Not the best, the most genius connection between things, so these material things can look. Physics is amazing. What scientists discovers about these connections, I cannot even grasp it. It's so complicated, but it's all our idea about how to make this idea real, how we can see it. So we are this idea. And we don't do that for any reason, to gain something. It is just this expression. It's like you have a white piece of paper in front of you. This or nothingness is the white piece of paper. You can do anything on this piece of paper. You can write any idea you want. And so the options are limitless. The paper is always white. Nothing will touch the paper. It will always be, this world will always be this blank paper, this all nothingness, in which these ideas happen. And because you cannot grasp how many ideas this oneness, this tiny place has, it is so condensed that it becomes the opposite of the noise it would have produced in the mind of a regular person. It produces the exact opposite. It produces peace. It produces quietness. And when it is quiet, it produces quietness. So everything around you is a metaphor. Just like a metaphor in a book that you read. It's an idea, just like you imagine something like an ice cream cone. You imagine it. It will never be real in your mind. It will never have any kind of material or vibration. Nothing. It's just an idea. We are just this idea. It's a wonderful idea.
Nothing good, nothing bad, nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing stillborn or lost, nothing further than proof, nothing wilder than you.